kontingent vprašanj, s katerim pravzaprav grejo skozi vse potencijalne študente bodoče in to bomo da spostavljati. Tommya, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining me here. I've had a wonderful week looking around your wonderful country. We've been all over. Mika and Matej, they've been my guides, and we met so many interesting people in the area of social pedagogics, went to foster homes and reform schools and these kind of places, youth workshops and so on. It's been really nice. So thank you again for my host for this wonderful program. Good. And I was told that you are interested in the school system in Finland, especially university at the moment. I'm working in southeastern Finland, University of Applied Sciences. And you have the brochure there. You have 4 different campuses in 4 different small towns, size like Kotka, not very big cities, but we have a total of 9,000 students, so it's a pretty big University of Applied Sciences. And I'm working there, like you said, probably as a lecturer in group dynamics, outdoor education, Erlebnispädagogik auf Deutsch, and yes, sports, this kind of topics for methods for youth work. So this is the program. So I will tell you a little bit about my background and the school's background. Like this, our university started actually only 1 year ago, but before we were Xamk. So I checked your university webpage, the international partner schools, and in there, the Erasmus list, we are still as Xamk, M-A-M-K. But nowadays, we merged together with another university, and we are nowadays called Xamk. But everything is the same. In Mikkeli, we have the same campus, just the name changes, and we are bigger and more strong, of course, when we are big university. Yes? So just not to get confused, it's the same school still. My big topic there is well-being. These are the 3 ground legs for our university: technology, creative industries, and well-being. So I'm under the sector of well-being for all people in Finland. And we promote long life learning and entrepreneurship in all the programs. And the passion to learn is something that is for us. You see, learning unlimited printed in the first page of my brochure, and this means that in our new university, Xamk, we stated that learning must be easy for the students. This means in every class that we give, we have to have 3 options how to study it. Either you come to the class and you listen to the lectures like the traditional way of teaching in the universities. This is number 1. But we also need to have one method that is online studies. So it could have 1 or 2 or 3 days lectures, but then the rest of it has to be online studies. And then the third way is something that is connected with the working life. If you are working as an adult and you want to re-educate yourself or educate yourself further, you are working in a youth house or somewhere, and then you want to get a bachelor degree or a master degree, you can go to the school and do part of the work or part of the studies connecting to your own work. So you do projects and you write reports and you evaluate your own work and you make some new projects at your own work, and as much as possible to connect it with your work, because then the adult students will come and they want to learn. It's not impossible for them to go to the school and at the same time do your work and your family and this kind. So this means work, studying unlimited. So this is the idea. In some cases, for me, group dynamics. I say, no, you come to my class, you cannot study group dynamics online. So of course there are exceptions, but this is the idea, and many courses, we have 3 options how the students can study it. So, a little bit of background. 9,300 students, 750 employees, 1,700 graduates, 60 bachelor's program, 26 master program, and at universities of applied sciences we have no doctoral program. It's until master program. Yeah, and you are one of these. Yes. One of the best ones, of course. And what is really good in our university, we have the biggest income for research and development programs at our university in Finland. It makes more than half of our budget. We have a lot of projects going on, R&D projects in all our areas, in well-being area as well. So we get a lot of money from EU, from projects, from the government, from private organizations and so on. So very extensive. I will show you one slide also about this. 4 campuses, 4 towns. This is a picture from Mikkeli campus that's the biggest campus, our main campus is in Mikkeli, and this is where I come from. I browsed this through because I think you are more interested in some other classes. So Mikkeli is situated here, Savonlinna, wonderful small town, situated in the middle of Lake Saimaa, an island like very beautiful like this, and then Kouvola and Kotka. So this is the new Xamk. Xamk was only these 2, so we merged together as Xamk. And 42% of the students are in Mikkeli. So, the education, you have been to our campus. It's a modern campus, it's in an old area of Mikkeli, while everything is modern, everything is good, and these are some programs that we offer education in our Mikkeli campus. And I'm working in the youth work program. Yeah. Feedback from our students, they appreciated that we have flexible studying. You can study anywhere, anytime, or then if you want to have the traditional way, you also get that. It's a very relaxed environment. I think all of my colleagues, they enjoy working there. Me too, I love it. It's a good workplace as well, and the campuses are nice, and there's a lot of support services for the students, and if you have some problems with your health or with your boyfriend or whoever, then there's always help for them as well. And good opportunities to go abroad, because we have a wide network of cooperation like here in Slovenia. This might be interesting for you, because our RDI program is Univerza. It's a youth research and development center situated at our campus. And they have 14 people at the moment working there, and I think they have 9 or 10 projects going on at the moment. International projects, local projects, or national projects. And I will leave you this presentation if you want to look at the project, what's going on. It's this page, there's a link through this, and if you want to have contact with the personnel there, perhaps find out if we have something in common, we can work in the future, be partners in some projects, we would for sure love it. So this staff, you can see what kind of staff is there. And of course through me, I will be glad to help. It's been working since 2007, so it's about 10 years. 10 years already. It started as a project, but now it's a permanent part of our university. What are they doing there? The main thing, they are developing youth field at an international level, and then they are disseminating the best practices, benchmarking things, working with anything concerned about young people, nationally, internationally, and locally. They have a lot of different projects. You can see all the projects from our web pages, and they are all the time looking for new opportunities. in English civic activities and youth work. And when they are graduating, we call them community educators. It's a Bachelor of Humanities, but still they are educators. They are educators not in the school, but in all other areas of education, non-formal education, NGOs, youth homes, all kinds of places. I think very similar to where your graduates work at. The bachelor program is like 3.5 years, 210 ECTS, and then we have a master program, 1.5 years, 90 ECTS, and it's a degree program for NGO and youth work. And these who come here, it's organized in a way that they have to have a permanent work, and they do a lot of this master program connected to their own work, so that at the same time they develop themselves, they develop their organization, so they do the master thesis connected to their own workplace. So in a way it's connected together. Yeah, we have about 400 students, 12 lecturers, and then 14 researchers at the moment at Univerza. Yeah. How many students do you have here?
1,600.
Okay, so it's bigger. In education?
As the faculty of education.
Okay, so you are a lot bigger then. Yes, okay. So where do they work? Possible positions for them: municipal youth work, non-governmental organization, child welfare, schools as youth workers at schools, workshops for young people. Some are going to entrepreneur, in leisure services, special youth work, youth information, international youth work, and nowadays a lot with multicultural youth work as well. So this is the bachelor positions that they are working. Yeah, then a little advertise. We have had a lot of international students in Mikkeli, and I would like also to remind you and offer you the possibility that your students are always welcome to Mikkeli. There are two choices. This year we try to promote an international semester. The fall semester from September to December, all in English, and we promote it to all our partner universities. It was the first time, and there weren't enough students coming in, and we could not start it. It was too small. And now we are thinking of doing it again, but perhaps building it as a summer school idea, because then we have the information that students might be more able to come during the summertime and have it a compact summer school for them. So this is something, if in the future we'll give you information how it goes. But then we offer students possibilities to do international work, practical training in Mikkeli or elsewhere in Finland. I will be the person who will find your students a practical place in Finland that is suitable for them. And I know, like you know, everything in the working field here. I know it in Finland, and there has been one kindergarten student from your school in Mikkeli about 2 years ago. She was doing research, thesis work about Finnish kindergartens, connected with music. Anyone know her? I don't remember the name.
Was it Andrea, maybe?
Could be. I don't
remember the students talked about.
Yes. Yeah. So there has been one already, but we are welcoming more. Okay? Yeah. Then, yeah, this is to go further on. This is something, entrance examination. When you were there, you were very interested about how we get our students in Finland. And so the next part of my presentation will be about this. First of all, there's now been 1 year a system, governmental system for whole Finland, that all the universities apply, get their students from the same application program for there's a student, he must log into this system, and then he has to choose 1 to 5 places where she will or he will go or want to go to study. And if he gets into the first choice, then he has to go there. So you cannot say, no, I don't actually want that, I want to go to number 3. It's not possible anymore. But you have 5 possibilities, and then you either go to the entrance examination. In some places there are no entrance examinations, but in our school we have. And then after that you get to know if you get to number 1. If you don't, then comes number 2, number 3, and number 4. But it's connected together, so it helps the way that there are not so many students applying to many places at the same time, and they actually then don't come at all. So you have to choose it before you make the application. What am I really interested about? So we usually get motivated students because they already think about, I want to be a youth worker, and then they come to our entrance examination. So it's a governmental application system for all universities. And then a little bit about the background. I don't know how it is here, but for us, the universities get a certain amount of money, like with no obligations. You have to just keep up the good work. But then a big part of the money comes from our results, which means, do we get our bachelors graduated? If they don't graduate, we don't get money. So we have to support them, even though they are not always very good students. We want to help them to graduate, not by giving easy numbers, but pushing them to study more and supporting them. Part of the money comes from graduation, part of the money comes from feedback of students. They have a governmental system. When you apply for your diploma from the university after your studies, you have to write down this form, and there, before you can do it, it redirects you to these national feedback pages. And all university graduates, they evaluate your school and the teaching. So this feedback is not made by our university, it's made by the governmental system, and it's the same for all universities. They ask questions like, did you get support from the teachers and professors from the school, and you have to evaluate it from 1 to 8, and then they give you a number. And this kind of questions, so if your university gets higher points than the other ones, you get more money. If you are in the low part of this list, you don't get money. So it's a competition between the universities, not in how much money you get, but in how well you treat your students, how well they feel that they learn. Question?
The results are public, or?
The results are not public in a way that they are in newspaper, no. They are public for personnel. We get this information so that every year we see the results and we have a meeting.
For your school, or?
For everyone. We can see everyone, so it's kind of public, but the advice is we don't want it to go to the newspapers, or yeah, it's not like this. But we want to see in which things are we good. We want to continue it. If there is some problems, then the bosses will come and say, this is great, we need to change this. So think about the ways, how can you do more international work, for example?
One question in relation to the state budget. If there is a general increase of results of all universities, does the money increase also?
No.
Yes, because
they have the same money,
yes,
and then they give the best, like 20%, and the second 15%, and it's less the lower you go. But they have the same budget all the time, and then they divide it with the best and the worst.
Yes.
Every year.
Can I ask one more question?
Yes.
How many applications do you have? How many do you actually accept?
Yeah, good question. Yeah. So when I started working in Xamk, 2001, we had about 300 applications. 150 of them came to, or we took to the entrance examination. We had a pre-selection, and then 20 of them we choose. But now it's different. We have less young people in Finland. That's a problem. And then there's more competition because of this. So this year we had 100 students that were invited to our entrance examination, and 30 of them we get in. So 1 out of 3 we have to choose. So it's we can see that the students are not as good as 15 years ago, because then we have more applications, and then you can choose the best ones. So this is the current time. Okay, so we want motivated students because we want them to graduate. And then we support them and we get good feedback. And our university is #1 in Finland about this student feedback.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really proud of it. It's really good. And yeah, then the entrance examination. It's a one-day exam. The students come in, they register, and we give them a program for the day. We have our tutor students there to help them and discuss with them and have a very relaxed atmosphere. They put some sofas and show some pictures of the studies and have some juice or coffee there, just to give a very relaxed atmosphere. Then first they have written exam. We always give some current topic about youth work or the social situation in Finland, an article. And they don't get it before, but they get it in the classroom in this situation. And it's a short article, but a little bit scientific language, so that we can understand, they understand the text. And then they have to write a statement, a short statement, 1 to 3 pages long, and they write it, and from this we get the information. Are you able to read and understand what you are reading? And then are you able to write? Because that's the #1 problem with our students. If they really don't know how to write essays or project work, reports, or the final thesis, we are in problem, because then they don't graduate, because they can't write. So we don't want students who are really good in practice but have no academic skills. So this is the way how to see, do you have enough academic skills that we can accept you. Mainly the students who come from gymnasium, we have no problem with them. But about half of our students' background is not from gymnasium, but from vocational school. And with these, sometimes they are not really good readers or writers. So we have to cut them off and say, we see it's not possible for you now. Then we have another thing, it's a personal interview by a teacher and some professional, excuse me, so professional youth workers. So there's a team, me and some colleague from the youth work program, youth work center or something that works in the youth work sector. And then we have an interview with them about 20 minutes. I'll show you the form, what we ask and what kind of topics are there. And we want to get the impression on is this person really motivated and so on. And then the third part of the entrance examination is group work skills, because youth worker in Finland is regarded a person who works with groups, social pedagogical aims. So can you be yourself in front of the group? How can you argument, group discussion and this kind of group dynamic skills? And I'm actually always organizing these 2 parts. So first one is about 20-minute discussion about the topic, and it's a small group, like 8 persons. They are sitting on benches and a table, and then there are 2 evaluators. We give them the task, and then they discuss 20 minutes, and we make marks what we see. Is there a person who is quiet all the time, doesn't involve at all? That's 0 points. If there's someone who supports the others and is very good in group work, then he will get 2 points.
Do all faculties have this discrimination?
I'm sorry?
Discrimination. Do all faculties have this?
Most do, but of course, every faculty can build the entrance examination for their own purpose. For us, these things are important to get them graduated. But for engineering, of course, it's totally different. It's mathematics.
You have autonomy about that.
Yes, we do. But we are cooperating with all youth work programs in Finland. There are 2 other universities who offer this program as well, and we have the similar exam in all schools. So they can take the exam in the other university and then still be accepted at our university. So they don't have to come to Mikkeli for the exam.
Excuse me,
Yes.
we can go one step back.
Yes.
But applying for this, are the results from gymnasium also evaluated in this process?
Yes, they are. It's part. One part is the background, and the other
part,
part,
small part.
it's actually changing this at the moment because the government says that these entrance examinations take too much time and cost too much money. They also want us to stop this and to be only evaluated from the gymnasium diploma or the vocational school diploma. But there are certain professions that say absolutely not, we still need to keep this exam. But at the moment it goes so that some part of our, we can decide it ourselves that we take 20% of our students only from the gymnasium diploma, and then 80% or 60% we take together the diploma and the entrance examination, and then we also take 20% only the entrance examination, because there are always really good youth workers who were really bad at school.
Thank you very much.
We all know it. We've been to with young people. So these are really happy that we can get in if I prove myself during this one day. And they are usually really motivated.
Of course, if you allow me, Slovenian perspective, with Matura at the end of the gymnasium is actually creating a big problem. Because there's so much stress and actually not useful information that we actually have a generation which is, of course, the results of first year of studies of the best maturants in Slovenia. This is a top secret in governmental, because they're the worst. They fail in the first year. The best students from gymnasium are the worst at the faculties.
Really?
Because they're completely burned out.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I see, because we have the similar.
And this is something we would like to get rid of, because we are pretty sure that this is completely unnecessary stress for the complete generation. And it creates a big problem year after. Theoretically, we could do, according to our legislation, pretty much the same. We could, as universities or faculties, add something like this, but our students would still have to go through this torture before.
In Finland, what happens after this, also the stressful maturation, they have 1 year free. They don't go to school, they don't apply because they're so tired. They don't go, they go abroad, they go traveling, they work somewhere for 1 year, and then they start to think about studying again. And this is also not good for the society. They would want them to graduate and go to work and pay taxes. Happy taxpayers.
Nas je tak sistem neko bolj zato, ker ni objektivnega testa in nadlista, to je podobno problem.
So, then there's one more thing. There's in our entrance examination, we have the same 8 people, and there's a 20-minute session where we give them a task of seeing how they are as instructors before a group. So we give them a task that, yes, you have this material and you have now 4 minutes time to prepare, to start a session with a group. And then it's something simple. For example, you have a new group and find out a way to get to know everyone's name and then organize this system with. Then they come there and, hello, welcome here, and my name is Tommy, and please come to a circle, and then we'll see how they are with the group. Do they freeze, or can they be themselves in front of the group? And so this is really important for us to see how they are as a person, because in youth work you need to be well connected with other people.
Everything is recorded.
Oh yeah, I can't move too much.
No. On these examinations, you took us to this big studio.
Yeah.
With
Do you record?
We are in the room with the cameras.
You are recording it, it's okay?
No.
Mikkeli.
Yeah, now I understand. Yeah.
So all this is faked.
No,
Oh.
no. It's only, I'll show you. It's the next slide. So the group discussion, the evaluation, what we watch, this was the situation where they sit there. There are two of me and my colleague. We are watching what are they doing, and we are looking at them, how the interaction is. They get 4 points out of 15 points by showing these skills, that they have clear speech, they are bold in expression, of self-opinion, how do they communicate non-verbally, and how do they argument themselves. If we see these kind of things, we mark points to them. Promoting the group operation, 7 points out of 15 we give of this. If you can see active listening, taking other into the account and giving feedback, encouraging others, it's not only about me, it's about the group. If we see this, we give points. And then of course there's objective, we give them a task. Do they work towards the goal, or are they distracted? So are they organizing the discussion, pushing ahead, responsibility for achievements, time usage, do they mark notes? Are they presenting their results, and so on? So these are, we have valid evaluation topics that we want to see there. This is how they get points. And the form, how we do it, it's like this. This is in Finnish now, but you write the name up there. It's like Tommy, Mitya, Matei, whoever are the entrance examination. And then this is the impression, this is group dynamics, and this is the goal orientation. Then we can write short words or mark, and after the 20 minutes, this is full of marks. And then we have a together discussion. What do you think about number 1? Here, how many points would you give? And then together we evaluate them and we give points. This is how we organize. It's all about us. Nobody tells us how to do it. In some programs they use psychologists to do these things. And it's in certain places I think it's okay as well. But we like to do it ourselves, because this is also the first impression of the students comes through us, and we've been working for 15 years with them, so we know what kind of persons we want and which ones not. Yeah? Then, the interview. What topics are there watched in the interview? Behavior. Are they outward oriented? What is the general appearance of them? Behavior, external habitus, appearance, and so on. Interaction skills. When they come in, how do they present themselves? Then, supportive background, hobbies. So we ask them questions like, okay, what kind of hobbies do you have, or how do you spend your free time? Because in youth work, very often the things that you have skills in are also useful in youth work sector. Yes, I play drums. Okay, that's interesting, and so on. I do some sports and so on. Then, what kind of courses have you taken, or what kind of studies have you taken that support becoming a youth worker? So then we discuss with them about the professional qualification. They might be, for example, yes, I'm a qualified instructor in canoeing or arts or whatever. This is always a plus for us. So we get to know the persons a little bit better. They can be short courses, broad courses, or even professional academic bachelor degrees or whatever. Yeah. So that's one part that we want to know the background. Then the work experience in the field. Most of them have been working, for example, in the Scouts or some youth work or for the church, and they have this kind of background, and you get points with this kind of experience as well. Then we ask about the vision of yourself as a student, and this we want to discuss with them that how do they see themselves as a university student? What expectations do they have? Do they have some fears about the possible problems of reading too much or writing these kind of things? So we also evaluate it in the interview. And then I think the most important part is always for us the motivation. Why do you want to become a youth worker? Because if we choose the wrong one, that will, after 1 month of studies, will say bye-bye, it's not for me, then it's money goes away from us. It's 40,000 euros per person who doesn't graduate. So we don't want to choose the wrong ones.
Do they know the questions?
No.
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 And for the group dynamics and so they
No, they know nothing about the whole system. So it's all surprise for them what happens. Yeah. Yeah, but this is the interview, and the form is like this. We give points, 5 points, appearance, and then some we write some things how we saw this, because sometimes they call us back and say, why didn't you choose me? And then we have to give them feedback. So we have to have everything written so that we don't get a lawsuit. Yeah. It never happened, but it could happen, because we want to have also very nice. These are great days. Some students say afterwards that if I knew this place is so nice and the teachers are so nice, I would have put this number 1. Yeah, but then they come back next year. So it's okay for us. You can't really see that. That's just an impression of. This is another one, how to get 5 points, 3 points, 1 point, or 0 points. We have strict evaluation forms that we made ourselves, because this is what we want and this is what we then get. Yeah. We're on Facebook and all the other. But I think it's now about half an hour. You asked me about half an hour about these topics. Now, questions or comments or whatever.
So did you say you were going to show us an example of the interview?
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, we don't record it.
That's why I wasn't sure.
Yeah. And I couldn't show it to you.
You meant the form. Yeah.
Oh, the form.
Yes,
But it was there. I meant the fourth, yes.
We're all shocked.
Why are you shocked?
At the possibility of actually doing something like that.
And in your system, they just come in with the papers,
Yes.
and you never see them before when they interview. Yeah, I understand, because then but this is something that Finnish government now wants also. And we said we don't want it.
Don't let them do that.
Yeah.
But we can now use your example and perhaps argue for
But I would give the advice for you what to stress. It's money. Why? You get more motivated students who graduate. It is good for the society. You get them graduated. These politicians and administration, they understand, right? You are the vice dean, vice director. Money is the thing that they understand. Yeah.
Could you turn one slide back, please? Well, actually, to the form of the interview.
Okay. This?
This, yes.
This one?
No, actually, the one you have.
This one?
No, in tools is still back then. Yes. Do you have later on any analysis which demonstrate the correlation between answering, well, achieving good results in some particular points and then the results?
We have discussed about it, and one of my colleagues is really interested about this topic and wants to do research about this, but at the moment we don't. I think in other areas, in other programs or other universities, there are this kind of research made, but not here. My background is in sports sciences, and when I went to the school, we had also one-day exam and entrance examination. There were 1,000 applicants and 25 got in. I got in. And then they did make this kind of information, research. Does our entrance examination give us the results that are seen also in the academic world? And they say it's good. But in our youth work program, we haven't done it.
This is our major problem. That, the system of evaluation we have is completely unuseful for the universities.
Okay.
And it changed in the last 20 years dramatically to this bureaucratic, inside the computer, nobody can understand system.
Yes. I see why you wanted me to talk about this. But this is also why international cooperation is good. The Erasmus program is working at the moment, so that I can tell how it is here in our university, and then you can discuss and make your own choices afterwards if it's possible in your
But bottom line, it's all about the money.
Yeah, that's always true. Yeah. But I'd like also to invite all of you, anytime you feel more interested about the Finnish school system or whatever, you're always welcome to Mikkeli. We are Erasmus partners. EU will pay for it. I will organize a nice program. Please come to Finland. Why are you laughing? Because I'm serious.